Here's the foam roller single leg bridge with wall support. So we're going to start off with the foam roller completely against the wall so it's not moving around. So we're almost pushing the roller into the wall. Now we want to have the balls of the toes supporting our weight. Okay, so we do not want the heels performing the bridge. So balls of the toes are on the roller. Now the angle of knee flexion and extension is what's going to make this harder or easier. So the closer we start into knee flexion, the easier this is going to be. The more we come away and open the knee angle, the harder it's going to be. So let's start maybe around 90 degrees. Now we're going to initiate a posterior pelvic tilt by pushing our low back into the ground, thinking about getting the belt buckle to the belly button. Posterior pelvic tilt. We should already feel our hamstrings kick on. Now from here, we're going to extend the hip, pick the heels off the ground, and feel the hip and the hamstring and the glutes working in conjunction with each other, and also our calf. Now, if we feel ready, we want to maintain this hip extension position without losing this posterior pelvic tilt, and lift one leg off, driving the knee to chest. Okay, so this is quite challenging to hold. Now, we know this is going to be either easy or hard if we can maintain that hip extension position. So say I lift off and my hip immediately drops. That means the angle of knee flexion is too challenging, and we'll have to scoot a little bit closer into the wall. Now, if this is easy and we're able to maintain this for the prescribed hold times, we could scoot the body out and perform our isometric hold here, as long as we're maintaining the hip extension and also keeping the pressure through the big toe. If the foot starts to slide, we no longer maintain that intensity. If we get very close and we still can't maintain proper hip extension and distribution of forces along the glutes, hamstrings, and calves, then that means we have to stick to the bilateral variation and work on extending this knee angle first, which is still quite challenging. One of the main compensations we'll see with this exercise is we lose the pressure of the first metatarsal head, so the ball of the big toe, on the roller, and instead what happens is our foot will turn out and spin in and supinate, and we'll feel the majority of the pressure on the fifth metatarsal, or the pinky toe side. Now we want most of the pressure to be distributed along the whole foot, but we should definitely be feeling the big toe on the roller, because that's where we'll really get the glute engagement. So what'll happen is the knee will externally rotate from the hip, and that's how we know we're losing that hip extension contribution. So this might look something like this. So we extend into the double leg bridge. Right when I lift off, what'll happen is this leg will turn out, and now the majority of the pressure is on the outside of the pinky toe. We want to make sure we're keeping pure hip extension, and there's a straight line between the hip, the knee, and the foot isn't turning outwards. Now, if all of these cues can be maintained and we can build up to around 45 seconds to a minute with a pretty extended knee with the single leg bridge and the foam roller on the wall, we can really challenge ourselves by moving the roller off the wall so that it's in free space, and now the perturbations of the roller without having any support will challenge our stabilizer muscles and our hamstrings and calves much more. So that'll look like this. Same cues apply. Posteriorly tilt, extend the hip, and then lift off. This is going to be way more challenging. And actually what you'll notice, I even felt it, is my foot lost the ability to plantar flex here. So we want to keep those heels high off the ground. Okay, and there we go. Now we're holding this.